Hey, what's going on, guys? All right. Let's see here. This is definitely a first for me, so bear with me. I'm going to try to navigate this. Let's see here. Get the chat pulled up. Let's see here. All right. Can you guys hear me at all? Let's see. I have no idea. Um, Anybody in the chat? Let's see. All right. Got some people coming in. Oh my, 6 people. Wow. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Awesome. All right. John, what's going on, man? I'm doing well. Getting some stuff done around the house today and getting the truck ready to go for this next week. So just trying to get things put together around here. Having a good day. Let's see here. All right. Well, as I don't know how many people are even going to show up, but I just wanted to start off by saying, I've kind of held off on doing, live streams until now, I guess, because I, I'm, I'm not a guy who, it's weird to say it, but I'm not a, guy who gets in front of a camera, but obviously I have, but, it's a lot different making a video versus a live stream. And for me, I get nervous just in front of my camera, just recording videos. I do a lot of takes sometimes where I fumble all over my words. My mind just hops around to so many different thoughts. And so I really struggle sometimes with being able to stay on track. So a live stream really is a challenge, at least for me, to be able to stay on track and keep going with things. So I've just kind of nervously held back from doing a live stream, and more recently I've had some friends and some people say, hey, you should just try it. And so just wanted to try this out for the first time and see how it goes, see if it's valuable to you guys at all, if I can answer questions. If I can do anything like that, I would love to. But just wanted to share that with you guys, being the first stream and see where it goes. In the future, I'm thinking about doing maybe a time where, either you guys like send in, questions. I try to respond in Instagram, in emails, and then, regular comments on the videos. Sometimes some comments, kind of fall through the cracks. And so I was thinking, what if I had you guys send comment or questions to an email address that we would answer those questions on these lives. I don't know if that would be valuable to you guys or if you'd want to have that type of engagement like that, but just thinking about doing that as a possibility. So let me know in the comments here what you're thinking on that. Is that a good idea? Would you rather just have a private, question, not be, I don't have to bring up your name, whoever you are who's asking the question, but to be able to answer these live. And then maybe if you have, further questions, I can go a little bit more in detail with it. I just wanted to see if that was an option. I really want these live streams to be, productive as possible, to be a help, to answer questions. So I don't want to be a guy just on the live stream, just picking my nose, you're just staring at me. Like that's not very interesting, at least to me. So just want to have some things that can be helpful and stuff. So let's see here. John. Yeah, Ryder. Actually, he is out of the room right now. I closed my door. I thought he was in here at my feet. He's usually at my desk here. He's always at my feet, laying down, warming up my toes as he's laying there. So I think he must be downstairs right now. Let's see. Okay. All right, 11 people. Wow. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? You have questions? I've thought about maybe sharing some ideas for the future on here. If that's going to be interesting to you guys, some ideas. I'm already working on some things, some resources to be able to give you guys through like a Google document and stuff like that to be able to have some resources like that for actually something would be actually helpful for you while you are on a load or doing something like that. So I'm in the works of doing quite a bit of that stuff. Really wanting to get that going. I just technology has just been fairly crazy with me recently. The camera that I use a GoPro, and my SD card recently gave up the ghost. It just died. I literally burnt my finger trying to get that taken out, and I lost all the footage. I had 2 other videos recorded, and lost those videos so far. I'm going to try to recover them, but just had a real struggle with that recently. And then also my computer here, it's on the difficult side of working. So, Terry, did you get all your spare parts put back in your truck? Yes, I did. Everything is in there. With shame to my name, I put them all back. Yeah. Oh my word. So as soon as you get new ownership, you think more opportunities. I would hope so. I think so. With Patrick Industries, I believe now owning Synergy. I'm sure there was someone who I can't remember who it was. I'm so sorry if it was you, if it was someone in the chat, but there was someone who talked about that Indiana Transport is already owned by Patrick Industries, and they were just talking about what happens usually when a company buys out another company. There's usually kind of a honeymoon period, 3 to 6 months where they don't really make any big changes. They maybe start switching up a few things here or there, and then they slowly start, cutting costs and trying to, really hone in everything to cut the costs, and then maybe expansion later on. And so, with Synergy being bought, I'm just curious to see what that's going to look like for us. Synergy is not the highest paying company out there. I've never heard that to be the case. I've never seen it to be the case in my situation. So I'm just curious if that'll affect rates, or if we'll have things go down for us as drivers, having more difficulties or more obstacles to be able to do our job if they're trying to cut back and save money, or if we'll have more resources and a better chance to actually to have things going well for us. So I'm hopeful, but with anything, I just really want to be cautious before, if they make some announcement, hey, we're going to be doing this, and it's a fairly negative thing, before I start flipping out and saying, oh, you dirtbags, da 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 da. I'm going to take my time and just kind of evaluate it. So, Joe. Where did I take my first delivery? My first delivery. Oh man. At the time, Synergy, after their orientation, they did not want new drivers going on long hauls, across the whole country. They wanted your first load to be something fairly close. So if I remember right, I think it was somewhere in Ohio, or it was Ohio or Arkansas. For whatever reason, those kind of jump out to me. My first load, something fairly short, and then after the first one, as long as I didn't damage the trailer on the very first load, I was able to grab any load I wanted off the load board. So I think it was within that first month that I ended up taking my longest one yet. I was going to, I believe, New Mexico, and that load was the load that it's a bittersweet load for me, because I was going through Missouri, and you've probably heard it on a couple of other of my videos, but I ended up on the road. I was in my Ford 6.0, and it was an 05, and I ended up going up this monster hill, and the trailer I had was a fifth wheel. It was a large fifth wheel. I don't remember how heavy it was, but I ended up getting to the top of the hill, and I'm glad I made it up the hill. But when I got to the top, I saw smoke all behind me to the back right, and then smoke coming up through the hood, and I'm like, this is trouble. This is really not good. So I ended up finding out, I got out of the truck. There is coolant going everywhere on the ground, some serious trouble. And I ended up like a fool trying to pour in more coolant. I'm like, yeah, there's a stream coming out of here it ain't going to hold itself. And so anyways, that was where my 6.0 died, my Ford, and I was, I didn't know what I was doing. I literally just started the job less than a month ago, and so I didn't know what I was doing, what I should do. Should I just get it repaired? How bad is it going to be? It ended up being head gaskets, a cracked block, and I think it was an EGR cooler as well that failed. And so it was just an epic fail. Right out of the gate for me. That was not how you start this industry, and it was rough. But the sweet part of it was that yes, I say I was stranded there. I could have left and abandoned the truck and sold it and just licked my wounds and went home and just quit the industry. But I decided not to, and so I ended up trading that Ford in. I paid $18 for it. That was my loan. Came with the plow, came with the fifth wheel ready to go. And I took off the plow mount. I took off the fifth wheel and brought that home. And I ended up getting a my Ram 3500 dually, 2012. It had 79,000 miles on it. And I haven't looked back since. That Ram, it has survived so much. I'm at 564 right now, I think. And, original transmission, original turbo. The Lord has spared the life of those two things. I did have injectors go at 405. But I got my money's worth, I would say, out of those. And so I'm, 160-ish right now on the next set. So I've still got quite a bit of life left in those, hopefully. Let's see here. Let's catch up. Thanks, Ricky. Appreciate that, man. Little Owl, hello. How's it going, man? I've been working on my EGR cooler and they were great help. Awesome, Steve. I'm so happy. That is awesome. Man, when I recorded those 2 videos, and really the cooler was the biggest headache trying to record those. Man, I recorded as much as I could, and I thought I got everything that I needed to do. But when I got home and I tried to edit everything, man, I was like, did I actually get everything? For sure. So I walked through the whole video. I'm like, yeah, I think I did. So anyways, I'm really glad that video was actually a help and it wasn't a flop, that it wasn't a failure, because I was not sure I was going to get everything. But, when I do these how-to videos, recording on my truck or somebody else's truck, if it's something new that I don't have on the channel yet, I really try to, it just about kills me sometimes, but it takes so much longer to do the work and record it, talk through it. I am no mechanic. As you can tell in my videos, my how-to stuff, man, sometimes I'm calling it that thing right there. Yeah, sure, that thing right there. That who's he, what's he that's going around the block, or I have no idea what I'm talking about. I try to use the right verbiage and use the right names for everything, but man, I struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I have a really hard time making sure I'm saying everything correctly, because I am no mechanic. I'm trying to do it the best I can for maybe those who do know or sort of know. So yeah, I'm really happy that helps, man. Use F-150 for this business. Latin Patriot, using an F-150 truck for this business. As far as I know, I don't know of any transport company that would allow a half-ton truck. The only trucks that I've ever heard was a 3/4 ton, so 2,500, 250, and up. So I've definitely seen F-150s haul trailers that I would pull, or even CDL loads that are much heavier. But every time I just kind of cringe, because F1 a half ton, no matter who it is, a half ton truck, really the suspension just cannot take it. You're going to burn up the transmission, the rear differential. I'm assuming there's just so much to it, and really, it would probably be a bad idea. So you may look around and try to see if there's anybody who would accept a half ton, but if you did that, I wouldn't do it for very long, and I would try to hop into a heavier duty truck as soon as possible, because the life of that half ton, which is going to be probably a gas, man, it's going to go. That life is going to get sucked out of it pretty quick. So I would just be very careful with that. So miles down that Ram. Yes, sir, John. Yeah, man. I got the truck at 79, and we're at 564. So, and the truth is, I really didn't have any real trouble with the truck until closer to 300,000. I think I did some brake pads somewhere in there. I really didn't have much. I mean, it was just tires, brakes, regular fluid changes. It was not too bad. So, things since then, since 300,000, things have started to go. I've had, repeated problems with my track bar. I made a video a long time ago. Most people don't. My older videos are even worse than what I'm doing now, but I'm slightly getting better. But the Moog track bars. I don't know what your opinion is, or maybe you're getting a better quality. If anybody out there is a Moog fan, Moog parts, I know they're made they're all over the world, different manufacturing plants. They have different quality specs, and I just got to tell you, almost every single time I've had a Moog part, especially Moog bushings for your track bar. They are garbage. Toast. Death wobble is right around the corner. I've had death wobble, let's see, almost 3 times. 2 times, absolutely. I almost died twice. And then literally getting run over by a semi who, it was just crazy. But the 3rd time I noticed it and I just replaced them preemptively because I was not going to have death wobble again. So that's just kind of wild there. Let's see here. Show us what we can do. Most of your own maintenance. Yeah, John, doing my own maintenance. Again, before this job, I can't stress to you guys enough, I knew nothing. I knew how to change a tire. That was it. I had no tools. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had 0 tools at all. So I literally started with YouTube videos. If there was a crummy video that didn't give me all the angles and things I needed, I just found other videos and pieced things together. And that's really what sparked my I guess passion to help make these videos, how-to videos that are hopefully all put together. You don't have to piece multiple videos together to figure out how to do this one job. So that's my heart, to be able to get these how-to videos out for you guys, for anybody out there who can actually benefit from it. So, let's see. Toe Piglet, what's going on, man? Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Just having a good weekend here at the house, cleaning stuff up around the house, getting the truck ready to go for this next week, and had a good time last night with Fair Winds and Following Seas. That was a good live stream. Had a great time with him, meeting him. So yeah, man, had a great time. Let's see. Synergy since February 4th. Steve, how do you like Synergy since February? So you've kind of seen, as the virus has swept in and now kind of gone away. What have your thoughts been with Synergy? Have you had any run-ins, any problems? Let us know. Thanks for sharing that. Easy Pass or iPass? I'll get to that in a second here. Easy Pass or iPass? You know what? So with RV transporting and with Synergy specifically, I'm sure most companies operate this way, but I can only speak for Synergy. Synergy has a policy where if you go east, you get reimbursed for all of your loads, outbound and inbound. So, and then west, I believe you get paid for outbound tolls. So, thankfully, there's not that many tolls. Obviously, any permits out west, we get fully reimbursed for all of that. That's not even an issue. But if you were to do an Easy Pass or iPass anywhere in the country, when you go to turn in your paperwork for that load to get paid your final settlement, your final total, you're going to have to wait until that posts to be able to turn that receipt in. And sometimes, I've heard it from many, many people, it takes a long time, at least days. And so if you can't wait days, or sometimes Synergy will even say, hey, like you deliver the trailer, right? So where's the paperwork today? Or, the next day they're calling you, hey, where's the paperwork? So if you are wanting to use those and still be reimbursed, you're going to be waiting to be your final payout. So personally, I don't do any of those. I don't do Easy Pass, iPass. I don't do any of that stuff at all. I get all the toll receipts. I carry enough cash. I know how much it's going to cost to go through Ohio, Indiana toll road, Ohio, all the way out to Connecticut, crossing the New York Bridge where I go through. I just bring enough cash to be able to cover all of those things. So it's not that big of a deal for me. Yes, you are losing a little bit of time going through those toll roads, going through the toll booths. But to me, it's worth it to get all of my money that I would be losing essentially if I waited, or if I just didn't turn it in, if I didn't have patience. And so I would, yeah, I just don't use those. And I'm not saying you shouldn't or you can't. To me, it's just more worth not using those. So that's just my opinion. I guess you're right. Must have diesel. Yeah. Along with the half-ton versus three-quarter and up, some companies do just require diesel trucks. So even if you had a gas three-quarter ton or even a 1 ton, they require diesel. Some companies do. So that's before you go out and buy a truck, you need to make sure whatever company that you're actually going to go get hired on with, they're going to pursue taking you on, that you have the right equipment, you have the right truck, along with all the other things that they're going to want you to have in your truck. So, let's see here. Tour roads taking cash now. Okay. Yes, and I've heard yes and no. I've seen yes and no. More recently, I've gone more south, so I have not gone. Actually, let's see. Yeah, I haven't gone on 80 going east at all, so I'm not for sure on that. My good buddy, he generally just uses his card unless he has to have cash. So he has told me going through New York that he gives them a $10 bill every time he goes through. He's got a lower rate for his thing. So so yes and no. I don't know if that helps. Friendly competition for subs. Man, I've known we've been fairly close in subs for some time, but the name of the game is, for me, any creator who's actually going to be out there putting out content. Everybody has their own perspective and their own type of doing things, and I think everybody should watch everybody and get everybody's perspective and the way they do things. It's just being able to get a variety of information from everybody. It's just so important. So yeah, I think it's great that everybody's channel's growing, and yeah. These are good. Going into effect soon. I do not have. I haven't heard everything of what's changing, so when I've heard everything, I will. And if you want to share it down here, let me know. The new hours of service law is going into effect. I haven't heard everything, so and I've heard little bits and pieces from different people. So I don't want to say anything right now, I guess. So New York is accepting cash. PA is not, and New Jersey is. Pennsylvania is not. New York is not. Okay. Topo, do you know if that's just more for the tolls? Is that more northwest or whatever in New York, or is that across the board? Because I know my buddy goes east almost every single trip, and he at least at that toll road or the bridge in New York near Fishkill, he pays cash. That hasn't changed, I guess. So I'm just curious if you know if that's like statewide or not in New York. The cookie. Awesome, man. Yeah. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is my first live stream. I've my mind wanders all the time, and so I've just been real nervous about doing an actual live stream with you guys, just because, man, it's hard to stay on track, and I want these live streams to be productive for you, not just you just watching me just picking my nose, just messing around. I really want to try to give value as much as I can for you guys. So yeah, do not take cash, all automated. Okay. So Texas is all automated. Good guy trying to help other guys. Yes, he is. Yes, sir. West of Kansas City, take cash, and I-44 in Oklahoma. Okay. Gotcha. What route do you recommend for getting past Chicago traffic in Iowa, Dakotas? Oh my word. You might not care for my answer. I've gone the way the GPS has recommended every time I've gone, and I've been absolutely miserable every single time for quite a while now. I just refuse to go up that way. So I don't have a good answer. Maybe somebody else in the comments let him know what's the best route to go through Chicago, going up into Iowa and the Dakotas. I'm not going to do it. Other people, you do what you got to do. But going through Chicago, it's enough for me to just say, no, I'll find another load that's so much easier to go through, less headaches, and the roads are better. Going through Chicago and going up in there, man, the roads just beat my truck to death, and I'm good. There's better roads out there, and paying the same or better. So sorry, that's not much of an answer. And they didn't take cash. Okay, gotcha. I will. I'll ask my buddy what's going on with that then. But yeah, okay. Shout out to yeah. All these YouTubers, man. All these guys are just everybody's perspective. Everybody trying to give value. This whole industry, not semis, just kind of classifying as that. Whether it's Hot Shot, RB Transport, other avenues, I feel like this industry, our industry, has needed people who are going to stand up and actually try to answer the hard questions, answer the easy questions, challenge people to dig deeper, finding out answers to these things, to upgrade what they're doing, how they operate, be more efficient. The amount of turnover that we have in this industry, it is incredible. Hearing across the whole, all these multiple companies, their orientations are, my orientation, they said it'll be 3 days at Synergy. They said, come ready to go for 3 days of an orientation, and you'll be driving that next day on the 4th day. Well, I got there, and it was a day and a half. And by that second day, in the middle of the day, about 12 or 1 o'clock, they had me dispatched on my first load. And I got to tell you, I was not prepared. I knew nothing. There's many embarrassing things I could share, and I will over time, but man, I didn't know what I was doing at all. I didn't feel like I had the proper resources to help me get through things. And so I struggled. I struggled so hard. I looked on YouTube, didn't find a whole lot of stuff. And so, 4 years ago, that was my startup. That was me. I knew nothing about truck maintenance, nothing about RV transporting at all. It was just shameful. And so for me, the name of the game is any of you guys, start a YouTube channel. If you have knowledge, share it. People need it. If everybody's adding into the conversation, man, it can only be better for everybody. People getting wrecked financially. They buy a truck that's $70,000 and they don't know what they're getting into. They don't know how to budget. They don't know how to hold back money for maintenance when that time does come, when you've got some serious bills. And so people just get wrecked, and then they scream at the top of their lungs, "You can't make any money in this industry." And I got to tell you, when you're operating a business like it's not a business, it's going to fail. And so, man, that just I feel so sad for those folks, and I feel like, man, we've got to have better resources. And so I'm just trying to be a part of that. There's so many good guys out there who are just awesome, sharing quality content, trying to challenge everybody. So I think that's great. Oh, thank you. All right, appreciate it. Very helpful and so appreciated. I do try to reply to every single comment in every video. I really do. Sometimes a few slips through the crack. I've never actually gone on my computer and looked at sorted my comments that I haven't responded to. And so I've recently done that, and I found there was a whole list of comments that I don't think I even got a notification about on my phone. So from now on, I'm going to try to regularly go through all of my comments on my computer to be able to see all of those and be able to see it better. So, but yeah, it does take quite a lot of time to respond to every comment, Instagram, emails, but I really want to give quality info if I can, at least my perspective. So, let's check with the company, check requirements. Yep. With a flatbed horizon is some things you must meet if you have a flatbed truck. I didn't check. Ooh, John, yeah. Yeah. Going with the flatbed and the additional requirements they have, that can be rough. Let's see here. What do you do with your downtime to stay entertained while on the road? So on the road, I've got lots of podcasts that I'll listen to. I'll listen to music, listen to sermons. Largely, I've got some friends who I'll talk to on the phone. I'll just charge up the headset in the morning, and then I'll be talking throughout the day, off and on with people, just kind of making the time go by quicker. Having a good time there. At the end of the day, I'll sit and watch some YouTube, catch up on everybody's latest vlog and stuff. Try to catch up on comments and maybe listen to a little music. I don't really watch TV or TV shows that much. Maybe a few things on Netflix. But yeah, just you've got all this time in a truck, and the truth is, you've got at least 11 hours where you're sitting there and you could be absorbing something, and to just waste it on just music when we could be learning, we could be growing as a person. It's just too valuable. It's just too. You're never going to get that time back, and so I believe being able to learn and grow in every area of your life, it's just too important to just miss out on. So keep them coming. Be safe. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, man. I really try these videos that I put out. I try to, if I don't keep it so strict into answering one specific question or something like that, my mind just goes all over the place. So I really try to keep these videos on point and on task. And my biggest problem, which I've had people message me and say, and I need the help, but one of my biggest problems is getting straight to the point. I feel like I've got to talk through a whole bunch of things, and I'm just kind of rambling, it feels like to me, and I'm not getting right to the meat of it. So I'm working on that. I know it. I see it's a problem. I'm trying, but I do really appreciate everybody, saying great videos and liking stuff. That's my target. I want to give as much value as I can to you guys when I'm doing this thing. So I just really appreciate all the encouragement as I'm learning in this with you guys. I today, just setting up this live stream, I just about died. I'm like, is it working? Is it going? I have no idea. Like, oh man. So really appreciate that, guys. Sure to lease rental back up. I'm not the guy to talk to about that. Toe Piglet, he's the man with the plan for enterprise. From seeing his most recent videos, I've just heard that they're completely booked up. There's not enough trucks becoming available, and so it's really kind of cutthroat to be able to get a truck. I'm sure there's probably a waiting list that's probably forever long, and so it may take you quite a while to even getting on that list, and then them even calling you to find out what the future is for that. So if Toe Piglet's still in here, feel free to answer that. But yeah, I would say they're probably backed up pretty good still. from UK. How's it going, mate? Hey, single cell. Thanks for joining, man. This is crazy. There's, let's see, 21 people, 23, something like that in here. Definitely was not expecting this. Thanks for joining, man. Really appreciate it. Run out your 11-hour clock. Yes. So any day that I'm out on the road, unless I'm sick, I'm going the full 11 hours. I may stop and use up that extra time to get up to the 14 total for the day. But on any given day, I'm definitely going to be hitting my 11 hours for sure. Depending on what region of the country you're going, that can be, up to 750. I rarely would even get close to that. In the 700 range is really kind of the sweet spot. Going east through Ohio and then Pennsylvania, I definitely don't get the full. I get the full 11 hours, but I definitely don't get close to maxing out the miles for the day at all. So that's definitely a difference. The truck without breaking the bank. I tried to buy duplicates for $10. He said no. Well, Toe Piglet, for $10. Oh my word. Yeah, you might have to raise your budget just a little bit more than $10. Oh wow. Shannon, it's hard to respond to all of your comments. You guys are with questions. I do take it personally. Hot shot celebrities. Big, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it does take a lot of time, and one thing that I really struggle with, and it's a burden of mine, is when somebody asks a question, and because I kind of have a better picture of what's really involved with that one question. It really involves answering 5 or 6 questions to be able to give a full picture, to give you everything you actually need to know about that one question. It takes so much to answer that, and it turns into just about a book for me. And so I feel when I see those questions, I'm like, oh Lord, this is going to take some time. I'm going to have to write a book for some time here. I don't even want to respond to this right now. And so there will be times where it does take me a day or two, because I'm like, okay, I'm answering this one question, but I've got to hit all these points, because if I don't, they're going to be confused on this one area, and it's going to cause, I don't want to give anybody bad information or not enough information, almost to the point where you're misled because I didn't, I held something out. So giving the right the full answer is just too important. As people who do have the knowledge or have a good perspective, just too important to stay up with that. So yeah, let's see here. You're doing great, very uplifting and positive. Yeah. What's my favorite route? Oh man. That might be a video. I don't know if people will care for it. It's probably not what most people would do. But for me, because I live in Indiana, this is just the sweet spot for me. And depending on my needs as a driver, my budget, what I need to bring home every week, it's a little different than maybe other people. I'm single. I have my own house, my truck that's almost paid off. I don't have to have a huge budget for other people, a wife and children, and so for me, my favorite route, kind of all coming into that, answering that question, my favorite route is going east with Synergy. Again, the higher pay rate, going east slightly, especially right now with the 40-cent increase, basically across the whole industry. I enjoy going east, probably. A Connecticut run, that's 700 plus miles from Goshen, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, up to 1,050 miles, and that's a solid trip for me. I really enjoy those. I've gone east so many times on 80. Excuse me. I'm on autopilot. It really shouldn't be that way, but man, it's just so easy to go east. I know all the stops, all the places to go if I need for fuel. I stop in Ohio. I never buy fuel in Pennsylvania. Ain't ever going to happen. So I'll take a trip going east, whether it's Connecticut and up, and then I'll come back through Goshen, and then I'll pick up another load, and then I'll bring it home to my house, which is south area of Goshen, and then I'll take that. My favorite is doing a Connecticut and then coming back through and then going to Missouri. I call it a day trip because I'll come home from doing that Connecticut load. I'll come home to where I live, and then I'll go to St. Louis, and then I'll come back on the same day. So for me, doing a day trip, it's actually one of the dealerships that I go to on a regular basis. It's exactly 300 miles away from my door. And so 600 miles for the day. I believe it's like 9 hours and 30 minutes drive time, plus, some traffic or, food, my 30-minute break, all that stuff. That's the deal. And I love that route. Going through Connecticut, coming back, going through Missouri, and just doing that. If I did that every week, if it was available, that's the good stuff right there for me. That's more than enough to pay all of my bills and more. And it's just ridiculous. I love that kind of a figure eight type of a thing for me. Now, if it wasn't, doing a two deliveries in a week, then I just love going to Texas. Texas is getting to Texas. It's from my door to the edge of Texas. It's about a day's full trip, almost 11 hours to get just right inside. So now, obviously, Texas is going to be massive. But love going to Texas. Love the fuel prices. What I'll do is when I get down, I'll deliver, and then I'll go through my Synergy email and find out, Petro, TA. We do have other fuel discounts, but mainly it's Petro and TA that we get fire fuel discounts. And so I will fill up all my auxiliary and my main tank all the way up and bring that all the way home, whether I have another load booked or not, because it's just too much of a savings to miss out on. So hopefully that answered the question. I guess my question would be, how old truck can you go? Okay, Cookie, or the Cookie. How old of a truck? So when I was, 2016, I had an 05 Ford. I believe on Synergy's website, it's either 10 or 15 years. You'll have to look that up. They have a page for resources or for drivers, and they answer a whole bunch of their questions, requirements they have for the driver, for the truck. It's either 10 or 15. And so I think it's 15. But no matter how old, I can't talk. No matter how old the truck actually is, it has to be presentable. That's one of the things. They can reject a truck if it's a rust bucket, if it looks like the axle is about to fall off. They're going to say, yeah, I don't know about that. But one of the things that you can do, and this is, I would believe this is industry wide, all RV transporting, is that when they are desperate for drivers, their leniency and their requirements, it's probably going to be pushed off to the side, because the name of the game for them is can they fulfill all of the orders, all of the deliveries that they've been given with these contracts, with these manufacturers? Can they actually fulfill that in the right time that they're supposed to? And so if they're desperate enough, if the right time of the year matters when you're trying to get hooked on, if you're buying a new truck or whatever the case may be, if you're already driving, if you've got an iffy situation with a certain truck, now is the time right now when they are desperate. They're raising the rates. They're begging people, come. We've got to make this happen, or else we're going to lose these future contracts in the future. So the time of the year, but I do. It's either 10 or 15. I think it's 15 years old. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. She lives in Elkhart County. If you sense darkness, it's probably her. Oh my word. Well, I'm sorry about your aunt. That's too bad. I don't know if I sense darkness when I go up there, but hopefully things can work out for you with your aunt. The Synergy Pay, Practical Miles, or zip code to zip code. All right. So they do zip code to zip code. They don't do. I made a video about this more recently. I can't remember what it was called. It was within the last like 10 videos. But I had the story of that video is I got a load to I believe it was Kentucky, and or was it West Virginia? I think it was Kentucky, and the pay the pay rate was great for me, and I typed it in the GPS, and I see, oh, there's like almost 80 miles unaccounted for. So I called and said, hey, just want to double check. Is this, sometimes if they have a new dealership that they're going to be delivering to, a new account, this has happened to me before, and this will be another video at some point, but if they get a new account with a new dealership, then sometimes they can be off on their mileage. They can mess that up in the beginning stages of starting to deliver. And so what happened the first time when that happened in Massachusetts was they just said, okay, sorry about that. We'll get that extra miles pay added on to your final settlement. Sorry about that. No big deal. Well, this time they said, well, the manufacturer route that they say they were willing to pay is basically non-highway country roads, and it takes over 2 hours longer to get there. And so, zip code to zip code, and then depending on the routing that the manufacturer so chooses to use is a huge thing for us as drivers, because it can be the difference in some serious cash. Like it's no joke. So for me, I had to learn the hard way, man. I got shortchanged in my opinion, because I'm losing time or I'm losing money, and fuel depending on that setup. And so, man, I at the end of the day, I accepted the load. I could have done my research. I could have asked. They even encouraged me to ask for the manufacturer route. They can just email it to us. So, man, initially I felt like, are you kidding me, man? Like, come on. But the truth is, if I had done my due diligence, I could have just rejected that load, or I could have said, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'm either going to save my time and go a faster route and not get paid as much money and go a longer distance, or I'll lose my time and save, maybe a fuel cost or whatever. But there's a trade-off. So yeah, zip code to zip code is how they do that. I work part-time at Midwest Tire in Warsaw. Great mechanics if you need good work done. Okay, awesome. Midwest Tire in Warsaw. All righty. I definitely go through there every trip to get up to Goshen, so that is good to know. I'm going to save that right here quick. Midwest Tire, all right. What do the drivers do in the slow months? So far for me, in the slow months, so like normally July, the middle of July, it can be a ghost town. These lots can be pretty bare. As time has gone on with Synergy after 4 years, I've seen their lots expand. They've gotten more lots, bigger lots. There's been less and less of a slow time where there's nothing on the load board at all. It still may be true that there is only a few here or there, and it's kind of, in the morning, and then usually they upload trailers to the load board at Synergy at least, and I'm sure they do it throughout the day. Excuse me. They upload new ones at the beginning of the day and then right after lunch. So like 12:45 to 2-ish. And I would say closer to 1, but putting new loads on. So if it is, slow, those are the times to be really looking, spamming the refresh button to be able to get a load. For me, since this virus and everything has gone down, for me in the slow months, if I need to, I made a video about it quite a while ago, but with my other vehicle, it may be beneath some people, but it's not for me. Delivering food. That's what I did for several weeks, and I made some serious money where I live. That might be different for you, for other people, but I don't live in Indianapolis, but there's enough business where I live where I could pay probably all of my bills. Truck, house, everything, just off of food. So that's what I plan to do if things get that bad. With Synergy growing like it is, and we'll see how, again, if you didn't hear it earlier, we talked about Patrick Industries buying out Synergy, or taking over, or whatever you want to call it. We'll see how that goes. But Synergy has only grown, in my perspective, in the last 4 years. So that's been kind of the driving thing going forward. There's the slow months are a lot less slower, if that helps. So yeah. When is the busiest time of year for you? Any typical man, usually it's a hard question. It seems to be fairly balanced from, as in I could probably find a load going to any region of the country I wanted to. Right after the New Year's shutdown. From then, as they start pumping them out again, from then until, I would say, until July, and throughout that time, it slowly builds on itself, as in there's slightly more trailers ramping up to July. That's been the pattern that I kind of see, at least with Synergy. Again, I'm not telling you across the map or across the industry. That's how it is at every place. I can't speak for any other company, but that seems to be the pattern. And then after July, it is lightning going out, and it slowly dissipates again all the way until Christmas, New Year's. And so for me, I'm a lot more willing to go east. I just enjoy going east. I first hated it because of Pennsylvania. I've since come to an understanding with that state and their terrain. I love Indiana because it's flat, and I hate mountains. I hate, mainly because I'm scared for my truck. Scared of pushing it too hard and, having a load or whatever. But I've really started to enjoy going east. So for me, in the winter months, and that's generally leading up to winter or right after, there seems to be quite a bit more circling winter, where there are more trailers going east for Synergy. And then more summertime, it's more south. And I kind of mentioned this on Fair Winds the Following Seas. Check out the live stream that we did last night. If you didn't catch that, I was on his for the first time, first live stream ever. But I was on his, and he was at my house, and I talked about that a little bit. But in the summertime, kind of before and after, around then, is really when there are more trailers going south. There's always trailers going west, California, Washington, Idaho, all those places. But it seems to me at Synergy that south, east and south are really a winter and a summer type of ramping up. So for me, I generally stay busy the whole year. There's, besides those couple weeks in the middle of July, and then normally, like you said, without COVID, I stay busy. It just is. Maybe the first or second year it was a lot harder to stay busy, but man, it seems to be really picking up. So let's go here. Right before. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. I accidentally scrolled. Brad, hey man. Chris, what's going on, man? Finally streaming. Let's go, bro. Thanks, man. Finally, he's one of the guys who encouraged me to finally do a live stream. So, see tonight what town you live in or by. No, I think I'm good, man. I am thinking about it because I've had more and more people, want to be able to meet me or whatever. And, first of all, that idea of you're wanting to meet me, I don't know if I want to meet me, but, I am planning, if people really want to meet me and just chat for, whatever, I'm thinking about, maybe at the Walmart in Goshen or someplace, we can get some food, and whoever wants to meet up on like a Friday or a Saturday or I don't know, something in Goshen, maybe that can be a possibility. Let me know, guys, if you want to do that, if you want to have a meetup or something. I don't even know what that would look like, but I would just say, yeah, if you want to get together, meet up, hang out, do some type of thing in Goshen. So, all right, let's see here. Right before July shutdown, Brad. Right before, I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm missing something. Right before July shutdown. I don't really know. Any info about driveway? If so, could I use a Ford Escape as a tow vehicle? I feel like I've seen either Escape or some type of really small SUV type of thing. I don't know a whole lot of information on driveway besides maybe the basics of just you pick up, you probably don't even know enough to really share a whole lot, but it's a lot less pay, obviously, for well, not obviously. Maybe I'm not the person to answer this question. I just know the answer is, for me, it's going to be a hard no doing that. I have my dog with me. When I first started, I had 2 dogs. Right after I started and my truck blew up, my other one of my childhood dogs died. I had both dogs with me, but one of them passed away. And I've had my dog Big Al. He was with me for the first 3 years, and so I kind of took some time off from having a dog. But man, I can't imagine going out on the road alone. And I know it's just a dog, but I've got my just about 80-pound lap dog Ryder who goes with me, and man, he's just the best. Love him to death. Love my other dogs to death, but yeah, I just with doing drive away, and you're not allowed to have an animal with you, and you're always constantly carrying stuff in and out of that vehicle because it's not yours. And I just I couldn't. I'm kind of in a rabbit trail right now. Sorry, but I don't know much about drive away. There might be other channels out there for you. I can't be a bigger help there. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, man. Run North Carolina, Virginia a lot. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, so Brad, I'm curious, how many miles do you usually get when you're running down there? If you're doing 11-hour days, are you covering 600 miles, close to 7, or I'm curious about how far you actually are able to go, going through up and down and over and under and all that. This is so beautiful, but for me, I don't like running out there. Traveling good, work bad, and like you said, east usually pays more. Yeah, man, I think I've had more mechanical trouble going out west, and because you are out in the middle of nowhere and a good portion of the time, I might not have signal, or at least it seems that way. Yeah, I just with the wind, with the weather, with chain laws, and the potential for serious trouble, I'm just at this point. I've done it. I've been in the crazy situations many times, and it's just not worth it a whole lot to me to go out west. It is absolutely beautiful. Someday, if I'm not doing this job, or someday if I'm just taking personal trip myself, maybe I will go out west in a vehicle, in a car, or something that's not, hauling a big trailer behind me, and maybe I would enjoy it a lot more. But for doing this, there's so many other places I could go that are, to me, safer and more worth it to me. So usually you're. Oh, I skipped a few things. Keep your private life private. Maybe a meet and greet, but keep the distance. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on this. This is all kind of new to me. I want to share anything and everything with you guys. My whole life, my experiences, what I've gone through, so that you guys don't have to go through those things. I want you guys to go, it's maybe cliche to say, but further and faster and without all the trouble. Like any parent would with their child or something. Avoid my mistakes so you can be not having to go through those things. So that's just my heart to try to help any way I can for anybody. Yeah, so sharing as much as I can, basically. Think food. Okay. I'm definitely thinking of food right now. I have not had dinner. So I'm probably going to go out and grill out some burgers here after this live stream. Let's see. Shutdown is usually busy. Brad, yes. Sorry about that. I just didn't connect it. Yeah, right before July, the shutdown. It's pumping. They really are. It's Synergy. It's right up until the end, and usually Synergy, when it gets closer to that shutdown, Synergy will say, "Hey, just so you're aware," and they haven't always done this. I think it's the last maybe 1 or 2 years. I get an email saying, "Hey, the shutdown is coming. These are the dates when it starts and when it ends. You need to prepare yourself financially and make sure that you're not going to get wrecked." And that their PC version of saying, it's coming. Get ready and make sure you're running now and not taking your vacation time, because this is the time to take your vacation. This is the time to be running hard, because your vacation that's not by choice is coming very soon. So yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely busy leading right up to that shutdown. And then sometimes in the past, Synergy has said, "Hey, we're going to try to grab as many loads as possible." They may be paying less because we're just outbidding other companies for these trailers. But we're going to try to have as much for you as we can and try to thin it out and spread it out to where on any given day during that shutdown, you're not sitting at the load board and nothing pops up at all the entire time. So that's just been my experience seeing that, getting those few emails over the last couple of years. Then you make money on driveway without a tow vehicle. Man, I'm sure you could, whether it's a bus back or flights. To me, that would just about kill me. Always on the rush, always trying to get that next deadline to get to the place, to get to the place, to get to the place, to get back home. I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure there's got to be like Facebook groups that can help talk through those things for drive away. But I would definitely say that the name of the game, if you're just starting out, would be have the goal of being able to get a vehicle, getting an actual car to hook up to. So yeah. Indiana also. Oh wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. When I'm thinking, for those meetups or trying to get together, visit with people, I definitely want to give maybe a day or two notice to be able to go and meet people in Goshen, whether we, go to B-Dubs or someplace there to be able to get together and talk and just chat and have a good time. I don't know how many people would even show up, but I'm willing to meet anybody doing that, and I think it'd be a great time. Thanks for your channel. Learn a lot from you. All right, yeah, man. I'm happy to help any way I can. I've talked with a couple friends about this a lot in the past, but when you start a YouTube channel and you say, hey, here's how to do this, here's how this is, here's information about this or that. The struggle, at least I have, is the idea of it's difficult to feel like you have the authority to say that. Who am I? I'm just a driver who just started recently. There's guys who've been doing this job for decades. How do I have the right, the authority to say this is how it is, and here's follow my information. You should listen to me. Like I feel like I'm the last person on the earth to have somebody listen to me. I've made so many mistakes, so many problems, and so it's difficult to be like, hey, yeah, here's the deal, because I'm just like, man, I'm still learning it myself. There's things that I'm just like, oh dear, I still haven't even covered that yet. I feel like an imposter or something sometimes thinking through that. But I really do appreciate everybody's encouragement. Saying great videos and great information. It's not me; it's just the information's there, and I just want to put that in front of you as best I can. I usually go pick up one day, then come back home, then deliver the next day. 625 miles loads average. Yeah, Brad, I'm telling you, those day trips, those little routes that you pick up that work well for you. To me, having that consistency and that system in place, that is so valuable to us as drivers, to have that consistency. You know where to stop, you know where you're going to take your break, the whole system. Nothing's going to catch you by surprise, less construction or an accident, something crazy like that, but that could be anywhere. Having a system in place as we are in this industry, there's enough variables that are out of our control. It's so important to capitalize on the things that are in our control, if there's anything in our control at all. So having that routine, having the day trip or that route that you're running, golden. That's awesome. That's awesome. Could you run nothing but Florida and back? Only taking Florida loads. If that's what you're asking, only taking Florida loads. Excuse me. Hold on one second. Sorry. With Synergy, we don't have that many Florida loads. They do come up more in the summertime, I would say. I don't see Florida as often because Florida is Florida. They go extremely quick. They go fast. So I've been able to get multiple Florida loads over the last several years, but man, they do go quickly. and I don't think you could do that consistently. So maybe some Georges and back. That's more likely around Atlanta. We have at least at Synergy, we have quite a bit of trailers just southeast of Atlanta and stuff like that. So around that area, you may be able to pull that off, but just Florida runs and back, probably not. I like sleeping in my bed at home. Brad, I am right there with you, man. It's just, you've probably seen my bed set up. Made a couple videos talking about how to take out the back seat, doing all those things. I still have an air mattress in the back there. I am deeply considering going to a foam mattress, getting a real mattress in there. Having a better setup so I don't have to worry about air popping or, it's me and my dog. It's quite a bit of weight. I am not small, and I don't weigh, 150 pounds, quite a bit more. And so, popping the air mattress, I love being at home anytime, unless I absolutely need the cash and I've got to keep running, every single day constantly. I'll cut off a day to a degree. I'll cut off a day to be able to be home for that night. And if I'm only going to go a little bit further, it's just not worth it to me. There's times where I could make it into Illinois just slightly after with 11 hours. But when I can get good rest, I can be ready to go the next day, hit it hard in the morning. There's no place like my bed. I'm just telling you, there's no place. It's awesome. Let's see here. You get reloads going back to Indiana. The short answer is not that often. I've said this in other videos before. Synergy does not have a good backhaul program. They just don't. Right now, there's our backhaul load. There's lots of I think Oregon runs, but in 4 years, and I don't look every single trip, but in about 4 years, I've gotten 5 backhauls. 5. And I got the last 2 within the last 3 months or something like that. Synergy does not have a powerhouse backhaul. If I've said this to a few people individually, if you're looking to constantly stay loaded, if that's what you're wanting, you're needing financially, and obviously that would be the best for anybody to be able to stay loaded constantly. But it's probably not going to happen at Synergy that often. I mean, I'm being real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Oh yeah, Synergy's got all the no. For me, because I do like coming home right after loads, I'm not booked for another load. I don't have to, I can go on personal conveyance going home. I enjoy that setup. I enjoy being able to go home, done. Other people, you stay out on the road for weeks at a time and you run the wheels off. My position is, that's great for you. It's not great for me. I've got to be home. I need to be with my people. I need to be at home. I love being home, and I'm working on my house and trying to build stuff and do things around the property. And so I don't need those backhauls. It'd be great, but the answer is no. Not a great backhaul. I've said this several times to people. Horizon, who seems to be the biggest company out there, they do have a backhaul long list. Talking with Fair Winds and Following Seas, he showed me, or he scrolled through. They had 300 or 400 or 500 backhauls, and it wasn't just in one location. It was all over the place. So if that's you needing a constant stream of backhauls wherever you're going, Synergy is probably not the place for you. It may work for some people like me. It may not work for you. So that's just, you got to make that decision. I would say this, again, with any company that is growing, Synergy is absolutely growing, and the backhauls that we have today are so much more. There's so many more than there were the first year I was here. Every year it seems to be growing. With these companies that are building and growing, they're getting more and more hookups, and I'm curious to see if Patrick Industries is able to help Synergy. That's just a hope. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. That Patrick Industries can help us drivers be able to get more loads for backhauls. So I'm not. There's no guarantee of any of that. That's just my hope. So okay, let's see. Any input on the exemption, and if actually applies to towaway, Synergies take. I do know of some exemptions. I just don't know exactly what you're saying. The RVIA exemption, Andrew. I'm an idiot for not knowing that, but if you could just explain that, or somebody, what exemption that actually is. If you're talking about, the actual the exemption for us towaway drivers and being under 26,000 pounds, or let me know what you exactly mean by that, and maybe I can help. Last night you guys briefly talked CDL. Have you ever considered it? John, I've considered it. We get about 10 cents or more per mile with a CDL load. Not all companies are that way. Some companies don't go by CDL or non-CDL. Synergy happens to do that for whatever their reason is. I've considered it. For me, I'm still debating whether it's worth it, especially now. Maybe earlier it would have been a little bit more profitable for me, but especially now that I'm at over 500,000 miles, the idea of getting a CDLA and then putting an even heavier trailer on my older truck, that it is still running fairly well. Original turbo, original transmission, injectors went at 405, but those are the real main things that have gone. They're kind of the situation. So the idea of, excuse me, getting CDLA to be able to get even heavier trailers on my truck, I just don't. My word, I just don't know if the risk versus the value is there for me in my case. If I would be willing to do that, maybe it would be for somebody else. Again, on this channel, I don't tell you this is how it is, so you got to do this or that. For me, it's just my choice of being a little bit more conservative, being a little bit more cautious, in not doing these kind of things. So yes, I've considered it, but I'm about 75 no towards getting it, even though I know it really does open up quite a bit more opportunity in transporting, but no for now. We'll just say that. Heading to Florida Monday. Brad, all right, man. Heading to Florida. Awesome. I have not been to Florida in maybe a year. I haven't been looking for them. Doesn't mean they're not there, but I just have not grabbed a Florida load in some time. So let's see. Where am I at? I got lost here. Anything out there for us folks? Live in the Southwest. I'm in Arizona. Let's see, Michael. Do longer loads sometimes to break it up. Yeah. Sometimes it is nice to, instead of having multiple loads, just do one long load. A little easier, less hook it up and delivering and all that. So yeah, I'm definitely with you. Living in the Southwest, I'm in Arizona. Michael, are you meaning for backhauls, or are you meaning what are you meaning? You can definitely get hooked on with Synergy. If you're asking about loads to Arizona, so if you were to get a load, let's say you're going to try to do a loop across the whole country. So you're in Arizona, you leave Arizona, you get to Goshen, you do a load from Goshen to Maine or to Connecticut, whatever, you go east. And then if you're asking, can you get loads back to Arizona? You absolutely can. Absolutely. There's New Mexico, Arizona, California loads all the time. Some Nevadas as well with Synergy. But there's stuff going west all the time. No matter what time of the year is, if there are trailers, there's more than likely some longer ones going west. So being able to do that type of a loop probably would be best for you, instead of only doing, you go up to Synergy empty, because again, there's probably not that many backhauls with Synergy. Go up to Goshen, pick up your load, and then come back to Arizona. I'm sure you could do that, but if it were me, if I were you, I would want to book a load going east. So I would travel up to Goshen. I would get a load going east, and then come back through Goshen, and then take a load home. Kind of doing the 3-point type of a setup, going across the whole country. Now, maybe that's not your cup of tea, going even further east, away from home, but that's just kind of your choice you're going to have to make there. After you deliver, do you pull your placards and are off duty? How do you account for after delivery hours to do something personal? Okay, so I do pull off my placards. I've been told by a DOT officer. I've asked. I said, "Do I need to keep these on?" He's like, "No, you're not loaded. You're just another truck driving down the road. You're going home. If you're ultimately, it comes down to what does your company say." I have not heard anything from Synergy saying yes or no. I've only heard you're empty, go home. You're not on the clock. So how do you account for after delivery hours to do something personal? Delivery hours. So are you asking after I deliver, me going home, or going to visit, some event or something nearby across the country? Is that what you're asking? Personal conveyance. There are some DOT officers that I've heard of in North Dakota, Iowa, where they say we cannot use personal conveyance at all. That's not for us. We'll use and abuse the system. Everywhere else in the entire country, I've only heard, yes, we can use personal conveyance. We're not going towards a load. And if we are going towards that load, the amount of time, as long as you're not cheating the system by going on personal conveyance, and you would arrive, if you had done your logbook all the way home and followed all those things, you would have beaten your time to avoid that, to beat the rules, essentially, to cheat. If you had arrived home afterwards, and I'm really doing a poor job explaining this, sorry, but essentially, as long as you're not beating the system, like I'll go on personal conveyance going home, and then I don't pick up a load for 3 days for the next week, and then I'll grab it Monday. And I went on personal conveyance going home, which is towards Synergy. So that's what I've been told by Synergy. I haven't heard otherwise. I'll also just say this, and I'm going to try to be as respectful as I can. Transporting companies are not the best at communication. Communicating to every driver, this is the new policy, this is how it is. I have found out more policy changes for DOT, for requirements from new drivers who just got done with orientation, and they said, "Oh yeah, this is the new rule," or "This is a thing." And I'm like, never heard that in my life. No one told me. I got no email. I got nothing. So I don't know how it is for any other company, but yeah, communication could be better. Living off grid. Hey, I just heard about you the other night, and I tried to subscribe to you, but I couldn't find you for whatever reason. I'll have to do that today. But thanks for joining, man. That is a big topic, hot topic. Everyone will say something else. Yeah, Brad, you hear so many different things out there. I'm going off of what I've been told by Synergy, and I'm making sure that no matter what the case is, I'm not arriving before I would have arrived legally on the return trip home, going by hours of service. So, moving off the grid there. Brad, IT could care less about calls. Indiana Transport, yeah. So it seems that Indiana Transport and now Synergy, they're both owned by the same company. They're not really in it for the backhaul. They don't really see the value in that. Otherwise, they would be just as aggressive trying to get more and more runs. So maybe they have a small department, but they're not going to really be pushing it. Let's see here. Man, I always miss my place, and I'm trying to find it here. Sorry. I guess it is. I just want to know what's legal while being able to take personal time here and there. Just going off of your company, whatever your company says. If it's Synergy, try to pin them down and say, hey, what's the real answer? What is this really about? And you still might get different answers, but to the best of your ability, be as safe as you can, and essentially just not putting yourself in harm's way, and being able to show up at a reasonable time there. This doesn't mean you ignore the. Okay, Andrew. Thank you. Sorry, I'm behind in the chat here. I'm trying to speed up here. It is definitely by the GCW, the combined weight rating total. It's not the actual weight. Synergy does not, at least I don't know about any other companies, but Synergy does not allow. We have to go off of the sticker on the truck and the trailer. So my truck is a 12. My door says 12.3. So 12,300 pounds is my GVWR. The trailer then has to be, for me, non-CDL, has to be 13.7, what it says on the camper. And so for me, I have to be that or less. And so even though my truck actually, when I just took a whole bunch of scrap metal that I had piled up, and I took it over to the recycling place, got paid like $30 for it. They weighed my truck and my small little utility trailer, and it ended up being, with the trailer, I was just under 10,000 pounds with the trailer. So, yeah, definitely not the actual weight. It is definitely by the door. Living off grid, yeah. If you don't have a CDL, it goes by actual weight. If you do have a CDL, it goes by. Okay, Brad. Yeah, there we go. Answering that for Andrew. Very good. And living off grid, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. I want to definitely go out and check your channel, guys. Check him out as well. He's got transporting things as well. Hello, Dan. I just want to say hello. Enjoy watching videos. Thank you. I believe it's Justin, right? Homegrown Country Homestead. Thanks for popping in, man. What do you think of leasing a truck from Enterprise Truck Rental just to start up? We kind of already talked about it earlier in the stream, but I've never done it before. I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. I've heard you can make money with it. I've heard you can't. As of right now, my understanding is that they are backed up quite a bit. The amount of trucks they have available that are coming off the line, whether it's Ford or Ram, there's just not enough that they're able to get right now. So you're probably going to be put on a waiting list for some time. and it's going to be a pretty long wait just from going off of Tow Piglet and other people who do use Enterprise. Even getting their replacement truck after a certain amount of time or miles, it's very difficult to get one. So also, I think the pneumatic couple they use Enterprise as well. So shout out to them as well. Let's see here. I was asking. Eat food. Vehicles are not RVs. You home more than 8 days a month. Not RVs. Okay. Brad sharing what's up with us that. Very little, if any, roads going to and from west to east, most likely deadheading. Okay. Home centers too. Very cool. Very cool. Sean, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining, man. This is the first live stream, and I started off this whole live stream by just simply saying, I've waited so long to do this, and I've just been real nervous because, it's easy to edit out things on my videos and, all the stupid things and fumbling all over my words and things. It's so it's so easy to do that, but a live stream, you're just on the spot, and so I've been really nervous, honestly, just to get on here and to talk, just because, man, I don't know if I'd want to listen to myself, and I don't want to waste anybody's time. I want to give you as much value as I can in any video, anything I'm putting out there. I want to give as many answers as I can. So thank you for stopping in, man. Just log all hours. Okay, Steve, is that log department for Synergy? Is that for other companies? Let us know. When you lease your truck on with a company for cars, is not allowed to advance your position towards a load. Logs must always be done. Alan, so usually, and again, I've heard many different things. That's why I'm not going to, say specific things on this, but usually when I'm, what happens for me is when I'm coming home and I'm going straight home, I don't already have another load booked. So when I do come home, then I will call and say, hey, and again, the hours of service, I didn't advance myself to where I wouldn't have, I'm kind of cheating the system. I would literally get home and then I call. And it would still be after when I would have arrived under the actual hours. So, yeah. Let's see here. Use work where we had PC to, but could not use it while under a load or while under dispatch. Okay. Yep. Steve, this is a great live stream. Thank you for your time. The Cookie. I love the name because I love cookies. Thank you for stopping in, man. I don't know if that means you're leaving, but really appreciate that encouraging comment. And yeah, any live stream or any regular video, I just want to give as much value, answer questions if I know what to even to say. So thanks for stopping in, man. Alan, you absolutely can get a fine for not displaying your placards and doing logs on the return trip. They probably won't stop you, but there is the possibility. Okay. Thank you, Alan. All right. Sean, you and Casey's stream last night was awesome. A couple of the best, honest, and helpful guys in the business. Man, that's my goal. I think that's his goal too, and I really appreciate that, man. Thanks. Steve, talk to Monica. I will do that. I definitely want to. I don't want to be breaking Synergy's rules or DOT. So thank you for sharing that. No, still here. This is great info. Okay. Thanks, Cookie. Andrew, do you have ALD? If not, there is no personal conveyance. Either way, if your GDR is 10,000 or more, you have to log everything. I do not have an ELD. So yeah, I will definitely talk to Monica and make sure I'm logging back and doing it right. there's so much misinformation and things that I've asked these questions in the past, and I couldn't get a straight answer. And so, okay, not really sure what to do with that sometimes. So thank you guys for pointing that out. And I believe I'm all caught up in the chat. So yeah, requirements for CDL drivers there. I'm not one, so I don't know if there's additional requirements for the CDL. I guess I'm not the person to talk to about that. Sorry, I don't want to guess and give you wrong information. Spencer Snook. I just got here a question. Any question you got, I will try to answer. Andrew, it's very confusing out here. DOT was written for semis, not pickups, so adapting them over is hard. Yes, indeed. And honestly, I think there's DOT officers out there that they don't even know where to go down to. You know, they don't know where to default, what's balanced, what's the law, the written law versus what can actually be applied. All I know is I don't want to be breaking the law. If I have been, I don't want to be anymore, and I want to make sure Synergy is good with me and the law is good with me. I don't want to be messing with anybody. Ultimately, even above that, I want to be safe out on the road. If I'm sick out on the road and I feel like garbage and I'm dizzy, or if there's any problems out on the road, all these laws were written and these rules were written for us to be safe, because people struggle with protecting themselves and being thoughtful. So they wrote all these things for everyone to stay safe as possible. So even above their written rules, if you're a transport driver and you don't feel well on the road, be the bigger person, be the whatever, and say, you know what, I'm not driving. I don't feel well. I got issues. I'm sick. I'm not well rested. Take the time. Be safe. Go the extra mile by not going the extra mile. Okay. Spencer, how much do you pay for insurance? So, man alive, that's a wild answer. So I first started out, just kind of give you a little history of it. I first started out paying, man, I was paying, I had a, what's it called? Insurance, a friend, essentially a friend, who was a insurance provider or whatever. And I was paying like less than $100 when I first started. That ended up being canceled because like 5 years ago, I had a traffic signal ticket. So I got kicked off of that. I then got put on with a company because I was so young. I got hired the day after I turned 23, 24, whatever. Yeah, 23 is when you can legally have commercial insurance. And so February 1st, I had commercial insurance. And so after that, I went with this other company. When I eventually got kicked off that first one, because they came back and said, oh, yeah, we found this, and we should have told you, but we didn't. Sorry, I'm really kind of rambling. It jumped up to paying $494 a month. So essentially, I'm making a double payment on my truck for insurance, which was insane. I believe my insurance lapsed like by 1 day. And so because I didn't have insurance going in to the second one, after I got kicked off the first one for the signal years ago, and that's just my fault. That's just what it is. It is what it is. It doesn't matter if it was 1 day or 2 years, whatever it ended up being. Literally, I was paying almost $500. And so that was one full year. And then it got down to like $365. And then now I'm with a different company from there. I am paying $233 a month for the commercial unladen commercial insurance 1 million policy. It's got the excuse me. Oh, sorry. Towing and all the goodies with that. But that's my insurance for my truck, and that covers everything that's any second I'm driving besides being under load. So that's what my insurance is. $233 right now. So here we go. Is exempt for RV transport. Look up. Okay, so Alan's talking there. Some RVs have the for backhauls. Yeah, Andrew and Alan, man, I've heard if you take backhauls, you have to have ELD. I've heard if it's only CDL, you have to have ELD. I've been very confused with these different requirements, as they say. So, can you work with two companies, say Horizon and Synergy? Well, Angel, I would love to do that, but unfortunately, illegally, yeah, go for it. Legally, you cannot be signed up with two companies, and the reason why is you yourself, you could do it, but it comes down to your truck. As a towaway driver, you are a person who is signing your truck. You're leasing your truck to them. It is technically, while under load, it is their usage of your truck. You just happen to be driving your truck. So technically, they, for that time being, they own it or whatever you want to say. So you cannot be leased under two different companies for the same truck legally. So that's a hard no. But let's say you were doing drive away for. If you're doing drive away, you're not leasing a truck, you're driving their vehicle, and then you have a tow car that's just your car. You're not leasing anything, so you can work for as many companies as you want, but with towaway, it's definitely legally, it's a no to being able to be leased onto multiple companies. Let's see here. Look up. Can you work with your companies? I'll send the links I have over from there. Okay, Andrew, thank you. Awesome. They cover your insurance while you're loaded, I have read, but they still make you buy a policy for when you're unloaded that covers them. How much do you pay for that? Spencer, yeah, so that unladen is the only thing they require. And I've actually asked my insurance company, so you're telling me when I am not loaded with a load, this policy covers every single second until I am hooked up to another trailer? And they have said yes, and they put it in writing. So there's just one policy, one commercial policy that I have that covers every single second until I'm hooked up to another trailer again. So hopefully that helps. Burrito Bandito, hey Daniel, you rock. Thanks for all you do. Hey man, I'm so happy to help and be a help and encouragement if I can. Thank you for checking into the live stream. I think we got like 24, 25. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We're at an hour and 48 seconds, or an hour and 48 minutes. I didn't know if we were gonna have 5 people in here. It's kind of crazy. So thank you everybody for being in here, for checking out the live stream. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys answering these questions. And I got to catch up on this chat here. Backhaul loads are exempt only for RVs. If you have a boat that needs hauling, you must have an ELD to haul the boat for money. Okay. Is that the ELD is only exempt? If you have had a reload that isn't RV, you're required to have an ELD. Okay, gotcha. So the reload that isn't an RV, so the exemption is specifically for the actual RVs, but any other type of trailer is not exempt. So that makes sense to have that ELD. So gotcha. Yeah, that was not specified when I heard that some time ago about reloads having to have a ELD. Unladen liability. Yep. Insurance is also called bobtail. Its chief cost was requires. I'm not sure about all the others. Yep. Yeah. So far, John, to your point there, for the unladen liability, I can't talk. Synergy only requires the unladen. They don't require the bobtail as well. So, yep. Or that being the same thing, I guess. Right? I've heard that they were different things, but anyways, yeah. What is your company? Charge by mile. You drive like 100,000 per mile. Okay. So the company that I'm with for insurance, Creative Underwriters is the company that I'm with there for my unladen for the 233. Again, the prices for my insurance are going to be vastly different depending on your situation, your age, your driving record. Once I turned 25, that was another thing. I started at 23. When I turned 25, had another drop off again for insurance. The value of my truck. When I've switched from company to company, I've lowered the value of my truck as I have gone on to be able to do this job. And so right now, I think it's still a lot higher than what it's worth right now. But being able to compare prices is a little difficult with that. So me being a little younger, I now have 4 years of experience. I haven't had an accident with my truck, and so it may look a little different for you depending on even your state and the value of the truck. The price could be just a lot different. See here, you drive like 100,000 miles per year. So my first year, every year I've driven less and less, and maybe that's a weird thing that I would be doing this, but as time has gone on, my maintenance cost, my insurance, as you can tell from that almost $500 down to $233, almost more than half. All of my expenses have gone down. My own personal budget at home, keeping the lights on, everything for me, as I've crunched in my budget, I've made sure that I am spending less and less money on things as much as possible. I'm working on my own truck. I don't have a $1,000 ball joint bill. I have a couple $100 for parts, and I just take a day and then maybe record it and help other people. So yeah, 100,000 miles. I definitely went over that my first year, probably my second year, but I don't need, if I'm able to pay all my bills that are not ridiculous bills and then save some money back for the future. I don't need to run the wheels off the truck. I'm willing to work less and less and be home more and more for me. That's my personal choice. I want to be home with my family, with my loved ones. And that's just kind of where I'm at. The name of the game is efficiency, and being able to efficiently do the job, spend less money, and pay all of my bills and be with my people. I'm golden. I'm loving it. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, 100,000 in a year, definitely is possible to do. Not just under load, but all the time. That's why you pay on insurance. Thanks. Does it also act like normal insurance? So your truck got stolen at the grocery store. Yes. So that's personal use as well. And I even asked that: is this unladen personal use as well as coming back from a load empty? And they said yes. So it covers anything from the second you hook up to drop off. Anything besides that, that's what it covers. Also, as I'm explaining these things, just so you guys know, whatever company you go to, make sure that you are talking and getting exact answers from these people and getting it in writing. They may, use a phrase or something that makes you think, oh, I'm covered for this, I'm covered for that. And well, at the end of the day, if you don't have it in writing, that you don't have it. So be very careful, be very vigilant. Ask those questions to make sure that you are covered. Looking at my insurance questions, but what commercial insurance company caters to RV transporters? What company are you with now that is giving you the best rate? Maybe this was when I already answered this, but Creative Underwriters Insurance. I believe they're in Indiana. I'm not for sure, but that's who I'm with, Creative Underwriters. They recently got bought out by somebody else, so I don't know if they've made a full name change or what's going on with that. But Creative Underwriters is who I'm with. Please get scheduled for more live streams. I think it will help me. Okay, Steve. Thank you for that feedback. Anybody, if anybody wants more live streams, I'm definitely willing to do it. Any way I can help you guys. We're almost at 2 hours. This is kind of crazy. I'm getting fairly hungry right now. But, I'm more than willing to help. I didn't know if anybody would even care for this or whatever, but definitely want to help if I can. If you guys are going to pop in, let me know in the comments what days or what time of the day would you guys prefer me to do a live stream. Maybe in the community tab, I will put like a poll out and just click on the time or the day or something like that. Let me know when you'd like a live stream. On the weekends, every weekend, or late at night during the night, or when I'm out on the road. I don't know if I'll do that, but more than willing to help if I can more often. Covering insurance on the unit that you're hauling, that's why they charge 20% of the gross. Yeah. My truck, I insured it for $30,000, and my insurance is $294.59 per month. Gotcha. Okay, Steve. Heard rumors that this year RV transport has boomed and they are increasing the rate per mile. Spencer, yes. I don't know why I just yelled. Sorry. They definitely increased. If you've gone to a good resource, another very good resource, which can be a little wild, is the Facebook RV Transporters group. There's multiple groups. They are very helpful. I learned quite a bit from people asking questions and answering them, other people answering them. It's kind of the wild, wild west, because if you ask a simple question without searching that question, you're probably going to get your head chopped off. So be very careful. People get real upset about that, but yes, we've almost all received a rate increase of about 40 cents a mile. That's what they say. The manufacturer gave us. For me, these rate increases come and go. I've never seen this type of increase before. It's great pay, fantastic, knock yourself out. But for me, people jumping ship to go to the next company just because they got their rate increase first and they had like 3 cents more per mile. The truth is, the company that you're working for, is that relationship is worth more than 3 cents, in my opinion. Or they started a week before your company would have. It's just too important to building relationships with other drivers, with your company, with your dispatchers, them knowing where you prefer to go. Consistency is very important in this industry because we have so much inconsistency across the whole board. And so we definitely received a rate increase. But the truth is that's not guaranteed for, I think they said till the end of the year or till September or whatever actually is October or November. I have no idea. The truth is I don't really care. 40 cents is great extra per mile, but these companies can pull the rug out from under, I can't talk. the rug from out underneath us. I can't even say it. At any time they need to. They're going to make their money, and the drivers are secondary to that. And nothing. I understand. It's business. This isn't, everybody hold hands and dance along. It's serious stuff. And so they're going to make their money, and they could shut that down at any time, even if they did say it was going to last till this or then. If things go south for them, they're pulling the plug. And so all the new flash and the new glamour things that happen, that come out during these times, whether it's a small increase due to fuel prices raising, and it's kind of a delayed where the fuel has gone up, and then weeks or months later they say, oh, well, yeah, okay, here's like 3 more cents, or here's like 10, whatever it is, that stuff, it comes and goes. And so you need to know you're at the right place with the right people, and you can work well with each other, and you agree with the policies. Because if you don't, that's the biggest thing. That's more important than a few pennies here or there. Hopping from one company to the other, just going to the next latest and greatest thing. So that's my opinion. I have the same insurance company as you, Daniel. Yes, sir, Steve. Think food. I'll be here. You have your next live stream. Thank you, the cookie. Awesome. I got one person for the next live stream. Thank you for all the information. All right, Coach. Yes. Awesome. Happy to help. Okay, so currently, what is the average rate you're getting with the 40-cent increase? So we're at Synergy, and again, it's a little different because Synergy does things differently than other companies. We have more west and south, east and west. I got food on my mind. We're struggling, guys. West and east are higher pay than south. So when you ask the question, with the rate increase, south, I believe it. Let's see. I can just look it up right now. Actually, let me do that real quick. Bear with me if you can. Let me pull it up here. Give you some examples on the load board if I can. Okay, so again, we also CDL versus non-CDL. There's so many variables with this. For whatever reason, Synergy operates this way. So a CDL load going west, so already a higher pay rate, and it is I already say CDL and it's west. That's $1.70. There are ones $1.52, $1.70. There are ones that are old or they're hot. $1.95, $1.87, $1.90. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. $1.65, 68. Again, CDL versus non-CDL, region of the country. It is different. $1.65, 47. $1.80, 160. $1.47 seems to be the very bottom. So that would be going south and non-CDL. So that's the worst case scenario for us at Synergy, $1.47. But most of these seem to be 60s to 80s and then some 90s, depending on if it's hot or old. So let me go back to the chat here and see if that helped here. So yeah, I would say 60 to 80, and then there's the outliers, 40s and 90s. Hopefully that helped. Pull big trailers over, don't get the highest rate. So what rate are you getting pulling the medium trailers? Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. I didn't read the second one there with you. So for me, I would be getting the $1.47 up to $1.80. That would be going east, especially if it's a hot load. I can still get that rate per mile up to about $1.80 or whatever around there without CDL. But because it's not because it's a CDL, it's because it's hot or old. that's why I would get that extra bump up to that higher rate. So for whatever that's worth. True Splitsy, I can't spell or read, so what's going on, man? Ready to start Tuesday for Dynamic. Richard, awesome, man. Hopefully you have a great time doing there. Let me know in one of my video comments or something like that how it goes. How is your orientation? And I'm curious to see, how does the orientation, when you leave that orientation, do you feel when you go through there, are you going to walk out of there thinking, okay, I don't know everything, I'm just starting, but I have a good game plan of how to do my logbook, of the rules, of what I should be doing. Do you feel prepared? Doing this to start off, you're not going to ever feel completely prepared for everything, but do you feel like you walked out of there and you have a good head on your shoulders now, that you know what you're kind of getting into, and that you're at least, logbook wise, you feel confident in that. I'm just curious about that. So let me know down in the future in the comments or whatever how you feel about that. Tuesday, who's your favorite singer rapper? Don't really listen to rap. Favorite singer? If we can say band or something like that, most of the stuff I listen to is Christian music. I really enjoy some of the old bands that I grew up listening to when I was younger. Newsboys, Reliant K, Switchfoot. They've got some really great songs that speak to my heart that I really enjoy. There's some new other Christian music that I listen to, but those guys are probably still my favorites. Yeah, thanks for that question. Oh, John, thanks for checking in, man. Really appreciate the encouragement, man. Hope to see you soon and be able to visit with you. Thanks. Gotta run, buddy. We're going full. All right, Sean. Hey, whoa. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much for that. Working on your rear flap for your truck. Good luck with that. Stay safe, man. Have a good day. Anytime is good, Herb. Okay. Awesome. Spencer is $1.80 non-CDL West. Let me go and look real quick if I can. Let's see, non-CDL going west at $1. He said $1.80. Again, these aren't going to last for forever, so it may be exciting for hopping on with any company that has these types of loads, but it will go away. They will drop that rate when the demand drops as well. The economics, supply and demand, there's a huge demand. They need the supply to match, and so they've got to do that. When the demand comes down and we bust out all these trailers, the demand's going to come down, and so will the rate for us. So, but real quick, let's just see. A west load that's $1.80. I'm seeing 60s. I'm seeing almost 70s. Or 70s. If somebody else is a Synergy driver and you're on this live stream right now, if you go to load board and let I want to keep up with the chat, but let Spencer know if there's $1.80 non-CDL going west. If there is any Synergy drivers in the live stream, let us know about that. John Richard is one I haven't heard of before. Also seen Foremost yesterday. That was the first. Again, thank you again, Sean, for that super chat. Really appreciate that. And guys, as a driver, as a person, you guys don't owe me anything at all. The information I just want to give and help and do the best I can to be a helper. The name of the channel, High Mileage Helper. I just want to be a helper any way I can, and I don't ever want to really demand I'm owed this. Anything you guys give me, I'm just so grateful for. I'm going to put it back into the channel to make things better. A new computer, I had a memory card that literally burned my finger and it got toasted. I had to buy a new one. Anything you guys give me, I'm going to put right back into the channel, try to grow this thing as big as I can to be able to give you the most value as I'm just kind of struggling, learning through how to do YouTube, how to be a better helper. So that's just my heart. Thank you, everybody who's given a gift. Thank you so much. I don't expect that. Thank you very much. What video games do you play? Do you play Fortnite? I don't play Fortnite. Growing up, I'm 27 years old. I grew up playing Halo 2 on the Xbox. I played Battlefield. I do enjoy playing video games when I have the time. I played football and I wrestled in high school, and I love football. I'm not going to go there in this live stream, but I still love football, and I like playing it on the video game. It gives me a nostalgic whatever. The idea of hitting people. I was an offensive lineman. I loved just running kids over, pancaking kids, and I wasn't the best, but I really enjoyed doing that. And I don't know if I was much of a help to them, but so yeah, playing video games, football. I like playing football because it brings back so many memories for me. I like playing basketball game as well. Call of Duty. I played that growing up my whole life. I know maybe I have an older audience who thinks video games are lame or stupid. They really kind of are, but it's a fun little thing. It's a hobby. I enjoy it. Lets me just kind of blow off steam. It's fun. So yeah, I do play football, basketball, sometimes Call of Duty, some Battlefield. I've got a few friends who I'll play with, but anyways, not really RV Transported related, but that's just a little about me. But I don't play Fortnite. I tried it, but I couldn't get into it. There's too many floaty things around and weird stuff. So, what video game? Oh, sorry. So all companies require the full-length mud flaps. Full-length mud flaps across the entire width of the truck? No. Synergy does not require the full-length mud flaps. They require mud flaps that, obviously, if you have a dually, they are able to match the second tire. It would look kind of weird if you didn't have that. But Synergy requires mud flaps to go all the way down to 6 inches from the ground. So I did those on my truck after my first set got ripped out, because if you've got a dually and you back up into a parking space, which I sometimes do, and your mud flap gets caught by the back stopper or whatever, the parking lot, and then the tire hits it, and then you can rip out your mud flap. We won't go into how I know how that's a possibility, but it is possible. And I definitely have, I've done that. And I've just destroyed my mud flap before. So, I've had to reinstall them and had to make sure they were 6 inches off the ground. But Synergy does not require mud flaps across the whole way. I believe other companies do. I think you can get those hookups where they go into your hitch to where you could take the whole thing off if you needed to. That may be a possibility. But just wanted to share that with you. He listens to country. I'll listen to some country. I'm not a country listener, in that singing about a girl and drinking and all that stuff. That's not my cup of tea. A country song talking about hard work and, um, doing that kind of stuff, sure. But I got to go back to the live chat here. Sorry. Yeah, I don't get into the woe is me singing about a girl and drinking myself to sleep and going nuts. I can't get into that. That's not where I'm going. So yeah, let's get back here. Mention downtime when things are slow. How many times does that happen in a year? Yeah, I'm not going to try to say your name. Sorry. How many times are there slow times during the year? I've got a video on it, Christmas and New Year's time. There's a shutdown for that. That's a week and a half, 2 weeks, depending. Excuse me, sorry. And then there is a July shutdown, and usually it's in the middle of July. Excuse me. Got a motor mouth tonight. Sorry. So July has a shutdown as well, which lasts a couple of weeks. As I believe July is the one where they're re-outfitting the new line for the next year, and then they start pumping them out, and it's just, they just shoot them out. But there's the Christmas shutdown as well, where they do maintenance. It's one of the two, maintenance, and then there's the refitting for the next year. Let me know down in the comments which is which. Yeah. Let's see here. Maple Tree Transport has one rate for towaway, $1.78 for anywhere. There you go, Alan. They got that. That's a solid pay rate for anywhere, no matter what. Is Maple Tree, is that CDL and non-CDL rate? Or is that's just across the board, 178? If it is, that's great. Definitely for non-CDLs being able to do that, but awesome. A man of Jesus, awesome. Yeah, in some of my videos, I do talk about some things that are not RV transport related. I'm a Christian. I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to beat around the bush with that. I'm not going to beat you in the head with the Bible. I care about you. I care about helping you with RV transporting. Ultimately, my belief, my faith is in Christ and Christ alone. He died and paid the price for my sins. I'm guilty. I'm a sinner, and he shed his blood for me on the cross. And I can trust him. I can believe in him and accept his free gift of salvation. And I'm not going to attack or rail on you guys or anything like that. I hope you guys know, seeing my videos, that's not my heart. I just want to love you guys and share anything I have, any information I have. If you're curious or want to talk or anything like that, I'd love to talk with you on the phone or email or whatever it is, and just share my faith with you. Jesus loves me. He loves you, and he wants a personal relationship with all of us, and for us to be made right with him. And anyways, yeah, I just want to share that. How many loads does Maple Tree have? Somebody else will have to answer that. I like Casting Crowns. Yep, very good band. I've listened to them for a long time, especially I was really young, hearing them. Steve says 6 loads to Utah, $1.80. Awesome. So there's that answer. Football and wrestling, a man after my own heart. Coach, part of my name is because I coach wrestling. Oh man, yes sir. I was. You could probably guess. I was heavyweight, 285. All four. I started my 8th grade year in wrestling, all the way through senior year in high school. And it's kind of an interesting story. At least it is to me. May not be for you guys, but 5 years of wrestling and football all through those years, lifting in the weight room. And I believe football made me better at wrestling, and wrestling made me better at football. Just the overall strength and agility that I had by the time I was a senior in high school, I was probably the most ripped fat man you've ever seen. I I I was I always had some action going on in the tummy area, but man, I really worked hard. My senior year, I was in a tournament. I was 12-2 for the season, and I had a guy who didn't know what he was doing, but he was stronger than me, and he tried to throw me in a headlock the wrong way. And when that happens, I don't know if you guys even want to hear this, but we wear rubber shoes on the rubber mats, and so my foot stuck, and he threw the headlock the wrong way. Basically, we landed his weight and my weight on my one foot, and then my foot folded. My foot popped, and they heard the ligaments pop in the stands. I couldn't, my season was over, my career, whatever. I was planning to go to college and be able to hopefully be on a scholarship for football. That did not happen. And I had surgery. It was a long surgery. But anyways, that's awesome to hear you're a wrestling coach. Definitely have that in common. And man, wrestlers, the determination and it's a mental game. It's a mental fight. And the truth is, in life, for all of us, it's mental. It's not just a physical thing. It's a mental game where we have to choose how we're going to respond to situations. You get down in wrestling, you get down a couple points, and you're exhausted. It's the third round, and how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to persevere? That's a huge word I'm trying to grow in my life. How am I going to respond? How am I going to persevere through the trial, through the problem? And for me, it's just been a growth process. And in this job, it's so true. I might not be wrestling somebody like I was in high school, but this job is a persevering type of job that it absolutely requires us to fight forward and fight through. When we have the tire that goes out in the dead of winter, in the middle of nowhere, when our transmission blows, which mine hasn't yet, but when our injectors, those definitely went for me. Are you going to persevere? Or are you going to fold and say, I'm done? It's a huge thing. And so, anyways, thank you for sharing that. I don't want to bore you guys and bore you to death, but yeah, just want to share that with you. The last I knew was 4 pages, and I thought there were 100 loads per page. Yeah, that's about right. That I think I just saw earlier. Well, there's usually 50 per page, I thought. But there are many, many pages on there, I thought. So I think I'm joining surgery because they don't require the full mud flap. Sorry to keep you. No, that's fine, Spencer. Really quick, tell me you think I should get. You don't have to explain. So I would just say, I can going with the company just because they don't require the full mud flap. That might not be on the top priority to really judge a company by. I would just say that, maybe that is a blessing that you don't have to go buy a full-size mud flap, and maybe that's more of a headache or an issue, but, there's more important things with a company than just, mud flap or not. Real quick, the distribution hitch, I got mine at Dooley Depot. Synergy, when Synergy announced that they were going to require distribution hitch with the sway bars, they apparently worked a deal with Dooley Depot or whatever, and they had a whole bunch brought in. I don't even know what the name of mine is called. Mine's fairly beat up now after a couple years. I can find out for you. It's probably a shame that I don't know, but I haven't really cared. I was like, I need it. I got to buy it. Give it to me. I believe it was $300 even for how much it was with everything included. They put all the bracket and everything together with those big bolts and the nuts for me, so that was convenient. go ahead and talk to Dooley Depot or maybe Dan's or some other places. I'm sure they, excuse me, that they have that to be able to help you with that. But I'm sorry, I don't know the name. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Give him a thumbs up, everybody. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. The Cookie Preach It. Yep. Both CDL and non-CDL 216 for Canada. Yeah. So one thing about that, I've never actually gone to Canada. I do have my passport, not for transporting reasons, but I went on a missions trip to Africa a couple years ago. But definitely going to Canada, besides it being harder to find drivers to go there, to legally be able to go to another country, to go into Canada, their price for fuel. I think Canada only allows a certain amount of fuel in your regular tank or auxiliary tank. I don't know which, and I don't know how much. But I heard this some time ago. I don't know if it's true. But if you were to go to Canada, you're only allowed to bring in a certain amount of fuel, so that you have to buy their fuel, which I believe is much more expensive than ours. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that for sure. But that's why I believe we get that higher pay rate, because diesel and there's just not that many drivers who are willing to get there to leave America, and I kind of don't blame you. But most of all said, Daniel. Thanks, guys. Joey, JC, Hercules, amen, brother. Which company's not CDL to Canada for 216? What? Maple. Okay, so Maple Tree for that. Just we're proud to see your faith in Jesus Christ. Yes, sir. Joe. Will they let me start out without transfer tank? Spencer, if you're meaning to start out not having an auxiliary tank, you can start out just with your regular truck and not even have to have some companies may want you to have a fifth wheel, but you can just have a bumper pull, and you don't need an actual auxiliary tank in your bed. I didn't start with an auxiliary tank for like 2 years. That's going to be coming in another video. My whole my back seat. My whole bed. I'm planning on doing a series talking through my bed, everything that I have, all the tools, all the things I keep. It will be coming, just not yet. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I want to give the best information I can to you for setting up your bed and everything you need or don't need necessarily. So, yeah. Blew my shoulder out playing football. Second, there's 5 games. Oh, man. Submitted All-State both ways. Didn't go to play college, but I did play in Australia. Wow. Summer after high school. Very cool, Chris. Chris Moore. Very awesome. That's awesome. Still able to do that. Yeah, football. It's a great game. I learned a lot during football. What kind of a person do I want to be? Do I want to be a person of character? Do I want to do things the right way? Am I willing to persevere? Again, we're talking through wrestling. Wrestling is a million times harder than football, in my opinion. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Full-size mud flap is $250. If that's going to break you, you may want to reconsider going into business doing this. Daniel is right. The company is more important than a mud flap. Yeah, Alan. Although I am grateful, Synergy does not require that mud flap. If they did, just like when they switched to distribution bar hitch system, that was $300. And so, in order for me to pull a bumper pull, I'm coughing up the dough. So, yeah, there are more important things than these smaller purchases. Some guys said, "Well, I'm never going to pull a bumper pull again. I'm only going to pull fifth wheels." Well, the problem with that is overall, and I'm generalizing by a lot, there are more bumper pulls than fifth wheels, because the truth is most people who are buying these campers, these trailers, they are not buying more fifth wheels as much as travel trailers. because they don't have the capability with their vehicle, their half ton or their, whatever they got. They can't do that. So there are more travel trailers than fifth wheels, and especially during lean times, if you're going to, stick your nose up in the air and say, well, I'm not going to do this or that because I don't want to pay for this or whatever it is, man, I understand that, but yeah, you might not be working too often, like with that fifth wheel versus travel trailer. So that's an issue. Everybody's got to give to deal with. So see here. Oh, you're right. I'm just being dumb. No, just Spencer. I don't think you're being dumb. Just thinking through these things and slowly evaluating different companies. If I were you, write out the pros, the cons for each company. Talk to them on the phone. The truth is, every can't even think of the word right now. Recruiter. There we go. I'm sure there are some out there who lie or who exaggerate the truth, but there are going to be those who tell you the truth. And so hopefully you get those people who are going to tell you how it really is at their company. And you're able to then compare, hey, is this good? Is this bad? Is this something I'm willing to die on a hill for? Or is this something I'm not? Okay, whatever. I'll put up with this. That really comes down to your personal choice. And I think that should be a more thought out thing. So nothing wrong with that. Just think through those things and make your decision. It's ridiculous more for fuel there, Daniel. Alan, so you know what you're talking about. You've been there. That pay rates, it's going to go up for going into Canada. So hopefully that evens out, or hopefully, it is more profitable going to Canada because you are leaving the country and, risking more. I don't know. I actually don't know if insurance, if that would affect insurance. I'm just now thinking of this for the first time. Alan, if you know, can you let us know if going into Canada, if there's a problem with insurance, or if you have to pay more for insurance going into Canada, leaving the country? My unladen insurance. Oh wait, that would be under load, so it wouldn't be a problem. I'm just thinking through this while we're talking. Sorry. It wouldn't be a problem being under load going to Canada, but coming back from Canada, if anything were to happen there, the question I would have is, would I be covered when it's my insurance covering me being empty coming home? I don't know that answer, if that would be worth it to go to Canada and all those things. But thank you, Alan, for sharing that. Where am I at? What am I doing here? Sorry, I'm just trying to move around. Do they take older trucks? Okay, so he's going to answer that. Excellent answer, and thank you for sharing. God bless you. Thanks, Coach. You mentioned earlier for synergy, and it's much the same across the board. Most all companies require 10 diesel, 10 years in good appearance and condition minimum. Yeah. Sounds about right. You have no doubt had this question, but what tire seems to work the best for you? Chris Moore, you're hitting me where it hurts. Not really. So I made a video quite a while ago talking about used versus new tires, and that I shared a website with you, bestusedtires.com. You can check that video out, kind of go through showing their website a little bit. At least I tried, and I found a tire on there for my truck, Ram 3500 2012 diesel, for my truck that, we're getting a ding here. Sorry. Sorry about that. I do need to get going here. Sorry, guys. It's about 9:20. We'll wrap it up after a couple more questions here, finish it out. But best tires for the road. So for the longest time, I've used Michelin's Michelin's, MS2s or whatever it is. It's a highway tire, all-season tire, but it's a highway tire, 10-ply, the best weight rating for those. And I've got a buddy and I who have gone 100,000 miles or slightly more than that off those tires. It depends on how your PSI and your tire rotations. That's a huge part of it. There's Michelin's are going to be a lot more expensive than maybe some other tires out there. But I have seen in myself and heard Michelin's, I think it's MS2s or M/S2, whatever that is, that they are the best. That they last one of the longest. Also, the actual road condition driving down the road, using those for the last several years, I have not had really any real trouble. Snow, rain, whatever it's been, I've felt very secure, as secure as you can be in the elements with those Michelin's highway tires that just last quite a while. So I would consider those. And then I'm going to be making a video in the near future sharing about these new tires that I talked about, I believe, in that video, that I didn't want to send everybody, hey, check out these tires right here. They're really good, when I had just bought them. So I'm going to be going back to Tire Barn where I have them install and put them on, rotate and do things, and finding out the exact mileage of my truck when I had them installed. And then I'm going to go get the tread depth on this new tire. And it's a brand new tire. It's not a big name brand. It's from like some crazy country that you would say, oh, that's ridiculous. Well, as of right now, I believe I have a significant amount of miles on them, and they're over half tread, I believe, still, like quite a bit. So that's my recommendation. At some point, I will share that with you and just tell you, hey, this is good. Hey, this is bad. I don't want to mislead you or throw you guys under the bus and say, hey, get these tires, and then they're garbage. So I don't want to be that dude who ends up leaving you at the short end of the stick. So, oh dear, we got a lot of comments here. Backloads yet? Is there very many? Oh man. Okay. Answer. Richard, have you mentioned backloads yet? Is there very many? Answer is I already have a couple times now in this live stream. You can go back if you want. We're like 2 hours and 37 minutes, so kind of crazy long. But hopefully I'm able to answer all these things throughout this. Synergy does not have many backhauls at all. Other companies do. It's my choice to stay with Synergy because I don't need those, and I'm good with the setup I have and the relationship I have with Synergy. It's great, and so I'm good there. So the answer is kind of no. I've gotten 5 backhauls in 4 years. Maybe if I was looking constantly all the day, every day, and really trying to plot that out better, maybe, but it's just not worth the headache to try to force something like that. I'm not going to for auxiliary tank. Yeah, Spencer. Yeah, you don't have to have an auxiliary tank. I would say you're going to save a lot more money if you were to get one, or if you could fit some way, somehow in there. But yeah, it sounds like a solid setup, man. That's awesome. Remove and replace, but I want to make some money first. Yeah, I'm with you there. You really do make your money back very quickly. That's going to be multiple videos probably with auxiliary tanks, talking through those things. Currently on the table for guys I know, RV boats, big kitchen. Okay, Spencer, gotcha. Be very safe. Make sure insurance is somehow covered. Be careful, man. You don't have to bite the bullet. I want to see a full tour of the truck. It's the personal tour, bro. Joseph Little, sir. Oh man, it's gonna have to happen, isn't it? Yeah, Joseph. He got that full tour, so we're gonna have to make it happen at some point here soon for everybody. Doesn't matter on the insurance; everything stays the same. Customs is a pain. Okay, that's why I don't go. Once was enough for me. That's my experience. Okay, so Alan is saying, "Hey, man, he's a one and done kind of guy here with going to Canada. not worth the money. Kind of a headache at the customs, and he's good. So I definitely understand that. I can see how that'd be a real headache. From Georgia, do you think Synergy is a good company for me? There's definitely lots of Georgia loads. There's Tennessee. There's several South loads. I get quite a few as far as getting Georgia loads coming back home to where you're at. Just south of Atlanta, there's a lot anywhere around Atlanta, and even all the way down as you're coming to Florida. There's quite a few dealerships that we have there. It's not, consistently. That's not the most consistent state, but there are quite a few trailers going there. So yeah. What am I saying? Tires at 80 psi. I go about 75 psi, close to 80, maybe. The higher the psi, the better for your tires. Don't overinflate them, but that's how you're going to get 100,000 miles out of Michelin's or better of any tire. The comfortability of a lower psi, that's great, but you're going to lose fuel. Well, you're probably going to lose fuel economy and tread depth. It's going to go by quicker. So that's a thought for you there. With a snow only tire, okay. Okay, so you're talking about the MS2. So whatever it was, I'm now using all the other brand that I haven't mentioned yet. So I can't remember that exact one. But if you're talking about the Michelin's, I know whatever the ones that I was running before Michelin's, they're still making them because my buddy still buys them not all the time, but every time still. He just bought another set. So Alex Sopel did a video on Hot Shot tires. It's a good review. Okay. Alan, everybody check out Toe Piglet's Hot Shot tires, his review on those. I have not seen that one, but definitely another resource to go to for you. Thanks. Have a great night. Thanks, Richard, for stopping by, man. Great to have everybody in here. We got 32 people. That's insane. Thank you so much for everybody being in here. Thanks, for the info. Be safe and God bless. All right, man. Thank you for stopping in as well. Great to have you here. Happy to help. Just watch for everyone's stream with you. Love that smiley shirt. You know what? If you see that live stream, first of all, hit the like button on that for him. But I wanted to wear the most. I knew we were going to hopefully meet up soon. And so I bought this shirt with a smiley face. And I was like, you know what? I just want to pick the craziest, most ridiculous thing I could think of to to wear for that. So anyways, just wanted to be silly, and glad you enjoyed that. You're the first person who said something about it, I think. So loved that time with him. Yes, thanks. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Thanks, Chris, for stopping in, man, and chatting here. Dan the man. Continental all-weather, the best tire you can buy for that truck. Don't buy any used tires. It's not worth buying it. All right. That's what Dan's got to say there. Continental all-weather are the best tire. Spencer, be careful with that. I did stuff off U-Ship and found out it can get super nasty for you if you get caught. One of my friends lost his truck and license. Oh, my word. And major fines for doing that under, I'm assuming that under the table, whatever. Be legal, guys. Be safe. It's not worth, risking all of your assets and getting, wrecked physically as well as, financially. Do it legal, guys. It's just not worth it. But above anything else, be careful out on the road. With everything, I was only planning on doing like maybe an hour at the most. But we're at 2 hours and 43 minutes. What kind of logbook do you use? Oh, that's a can of worms right there, getting into logbooks. I think we're going to end the stream here at about 2 hours and 45 minutes. This has been wild. I never thought 28 people now. I mean, just crazy. But if you guys like this, hit the like button. Just really appreciate everybody's great questions, keeping things going. I try my best. I go off on rabbit trails here or there, but I really just want to give the best info I can to you guys. And I guess that'll wrap up the live stream. This has been crazy. This has been a great time. I really enjoyed this time with you. And subscribe, seeing stuff. Thank you, everybody. This is my first live stream. I might put out a poll on the community tab for when you'd like to have live streams. If you would like this in the future, let me know there. And until next time, the next video, long story short, I was supposed to. I'm trying to have a consistent pattern without telling you guys, hey, you're always going to get a video on Thursdays and Sundays. Well, I had 2 videos that I had on my SD card that it literally melted and burned my finger when I pulled it out of my computer as I was going to go to edit it and do things with it. And so I don't know if I'm going to have a video for tomorrow up in time. I'm trying to get these videos out. But anyways, just so you know, I'm hoping to get one out tomorrow. I don't know if I will. I'm going to do my best. But anyways, thank you, all of you guys, for coming in here, spending the time with me. And just so grateful for anybody who's willing to listen to me and spend the time. And just hopefully I was helped you. I will see you next time in my next video or live stream. And we'll see you later. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.